Grindrod is in freight services, shipping, trading and financial services. Market cap here 8.9 billion rand. No PE ratio given the fact that it's been trading at a loss, and the dividend yield here at 0.5%. Now,
Yes.
Grindrod, can I take you back, Andrew, because this is one that value managers would have loved. I'm not sure if you were on this side of the table that said buy Grindrod at all costs, because this could be the biggest bet of the future.
Yeah, I suppose, going, thinking a long way back now, I suppose the argument was that Grindrod gave you excellent exposure into the African story. But I mean, now we're going back, 5-6 years. We know what's happened since then. And the shipping industry has, global shipping, global trade has really been through an incredibly tough period over the last 5 years. I suppose you can look at the Baltic Dry Index, which is at all-time lows. Every second week it's at a new low. So that's really hurt the shipping side of the business. Alongside that, they had their freight side, where they had the rail manufacturing, Africa infrastructure.
Which is actually linked. I mean, they're pretty one and the same, really. One feeds into the other.
Yeah, and they've just impaired that, I think, at their last results. So that business didn't turn out the way they'd hoped. That was quite a big impairment, I think, of around about 600 million. And then they've got their bank, which is quite small, but that's the one part of the business that is actually doing really nicely when you look at those results. So there are three parts of the business. Shipping obviously makes up the most from a revenue point of view by a long way. And that's obviously the sector that's really hurting them.
And that's where you've got to think, do you buy this one for the future if there's a recovery expected in the broader shipping environment or broader trade environment?
It's been a real tease, this company, though, because of course it did very badly in 08-09. Then it rebounded quite nicely. You can see in the 5-year chart there that'll come up in a minute. And then everybody got all stoked again about how you were clever if you stayed stuck in. But since then, it's gone off the boil again badly. So just too many boats out there. By boats, I mean these big containerized bulk dry shipping vessels. The Baltic rates have indicated. So I don't know what's exactly going on with global trade, but it's a little bit of the China cool off. Commodity prices recovering, but just very difficult.
I would say that global trade is almost in the center of the noise, and it's a crescendo at the moment. So I'm not sure if anybody can give you visibility.
But it's a notoriously volatile industry where earnings are worsened and made volatile by rising and falling prices.
You've got to ask yourself,
the boats,
though,
the ships, the building, and then you've got too many, and
You've got to ask yourself, is a global recovery on the horizon in the trade arena? And I mean, we look at each of the countries on an individual basis, and there's nobody that's firing on all cylinders at the moment.
I think also, more importantly, Paul alluded to it, is the amount of ships and the ships that were built. So pre 2008, 2009, there was a massive amount of new ships being built that came into the market at exactly the wrong time. And I think that's probably hurt them more so than a big slowdown in trade. There's just been a massive oversupply of ships, and I think that's slowly working its way out of the system. So maybe if you're going to take a really long-term view on this, buying it now where 13, 14 rand, wherever it trades at the moment, if you can sit and wait, it's a recovery story. It's a turnaround story.
And remember, they have Remgro as their anchor shareholder, which owns like 23% or something of the shares. So they've got credibility in the game. They've got a nice set of infrastructure options in Durban,
bank, which is doing well, good
Richards
underpin.
Bay and Maputo as well. Yeah.
Hot, not?
I'm going to go nuts on this one as well. Just as I say, it's a turnaround story. There's a lot of risk, so I'd probably give it another, wait for the next results and see what's happening.
No, not hot. I think there's too much pain still to be taken in the shipping game specifically.